Okay, so
Number ones.
Number ones. Here we go.
Okay, well, first of all, we'll just show the man, the myth, the legend,
Star Child.
Star Child. Not even close. Been my favorite band since I was 10 years old. I actually, when Jobber and JT came to visit us in good old Penticton here, I actually had a full Kiss list. Best to worst. But now, first
it's
of
why
all,
we travel, right, Jobber? To get the full Kiss list.
Right.
1,000 miles east, 2,000 miles west. We got to come and get the Kiss list.
Now, my number 3 is going to be Paul Stanley's solo album. But can I put that in there?
What?
I got Betty Rules. It's Marty's gang. Yeah.
Depends how many drinks you've had.
No, well, it's between that and the Kiss self-titled album.
It does have the Kiss logo on it, right? Like,
I mean,
there is no
6, 7.
If Paul had left the band, you couldn't pick it. But because Paul was still in the band, it was a
perfect. Okay, I'm going to go with my number 3 Kiss album, Paul Stanley's solo album.
Okay.
Not a weak track on it. Not a weak track. Just an unbelievable. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? So good. That's my number 3. My number 2, I flip-flop with 1 and 2. They are my 2 favorite albums of all time. Number 2 is going to be Dynasty. Catches a lot of flack, but I mean, Ace was at the top of his game.
Without a doubt, he was.
I mean, Hard Times, Save Your Love, 2000 Man. Ace just nailed it. Paul nailed it, of course. I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something, Magic Touch. Peter's Dirty Livin', another DQ fave. And Gene, I love Charisma.
Charisma. I forgot about that. Gene.
Yeah, not a weak song on the album. Nope. The cover's cool. Everything about Dynasty just kills it. But my number 1 is Unmasked. Favorite album all time.
The Torpedo Girl's alive in our
album. I even like Torpedo Girl.
I do too. I love it. It's insane.
I love Talk to Me. I love Naked City. But Paul just kills it. Is That You? Shandy, Tomorrow, Easy as It Seems. I can't.
Is That You might be probably a top 5 song for me, maybe.
I love all those Paul songs, and I do love Is That You, but really, just a few years earlier, even on Destroyer, they were having problems with Ace not showing up to the studio and everything. It's too bad he showed up during Unmasked. Like, they should have lost.
Oh my God.
And that album
was Ace at his height.
No way.
No, Two Sides of the Coin.
Two Sides of the Coin's awesome.
And Rock Better Man, Battle Stations, because Torpedo's going to come and hit him.
I love that you're being true, though, man. That's you guys. You got. How could you not pick them as number 1?
Oh yeah,
that's right.
100%.
You got it. Got to do it.
Yeah, Kiss Army, baby.
Kiss Army.
It's sad that Rock's going to pick Warrant as his number 1, but okay.
No, I think he's wearing the T.
I'm wearing the T. I got to
Just to Kill, yeah.
Yeah, I got to go with Kiss. They're my favorite band.
We differ in albums.
But you know what?
Time.
I do actually love every album, including Unmasked. I think Unmasked is probably their second worst or something.
No, but there's Carnival and Peter's solo album.
Which is amazing that
Carnival of Souls and Peter's solo album are way worse than
the last episode we did. And I said, it's funny how you're both sitting and the only album, the album we see most prominent.
Yeah, that's right.
And Rock goes, I'm going to move it and change it. And then he never did. So now as they're bad-mouthing Carnival, it's right behind them.
There now, it's an empty space, which is what it should be.
And you know what sucks? The 2 worst solo albums are above your head.
I know. What's going on? I got to rearrange that.
You got to change that.
Slouch down.
Kiss is my favorite band.
The Kiss Museum is turned rotten.
Kiss is my favorite band. I got my top 3 albums. I was going to actually put Paul Stanley's solo album in there, but I did take a step back and think, none of them, although there is a Kiss logo on them, none of them had any kind of contribution. No Ace, no Gene, no Peter.
Yeah, but it's got Bob Kulick.
Yes, it does. It has and a lot of Paul Stanley. But anyways, I chose not to put that in my top 3. So my third favorite Kiss album is the first Kiss album.
Yeah, that would have been my
third. Yeah, okay. I mean, that album, I love it start to finish, except for Love Theme from Kiss. Mm-hmm. But hey, I can deal with it. It's there. But really, there's so many classics that are still in their set list. And we all know them. We all love them. We all went to bush parties to hear them.
Kissing Time is not in my love list.
Well,
I don't even mind.
I can still listen to it though. I mean, I don't love
Really?
it. I can still listen to it. Yeah,
I hated it when I got it when I was 7. I'm like, this shouldn't be a Kiss song. It's got no edge.
Well, it wasn't a Kiss song.
No,
it was a cover.
Yeah, they kind of got forced into.
They got forced into it.
That was their fake hit for the bubblegum. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I didn't know that. That makes sense though.
You know, and everybody knows all the songs, so obviously I don't have to go through them. But I love "Let Me Know." It's a cool, like, kind of deep track as far as deep tracks go. Anyways, it's
Let
awesome.
Me Know's a good track. Yeah,
I love that album.
Strutter, baby.
Strutter's great. Everything is great. Deuce is great. Cold Gin. Oh, unbelievable.
You know, it's the only thing that can keep us together, right?
Yeah. Black Diamond actually
love Black Diamond.
Would be my favorite Kiss song,
except for the horrible outro that
outro
fucking ever.
It's better on double platinum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not on there. But I mean, Peter kills it on there.
He does.
Yeah, the outro isn't on double platinum. No. Peter kills it on that, and of course the intro that Paul does is great. Anyways, it's an outstanding album. I love it. My second favorite Kiss album is Revenge.
Bold. It's good.
It's good.
Fantastic.
You actually just left. I'm in mid-sentence and you left after I said Revenge.
It was just shocking. Go back to Revenge. It was shocking.
You gotta remember when I told you that you'd probably love Carnival of Souls, and you did? You would love Revenge too.
Okay, JT, God gave rock and roll to you.
That's right. That is a great duet with Paul and Gene.
Yeah.
So that's outstanding. I just wanna.
I've ruined my life by choosing.
Gene showed up with Unholy Domino.
Yeah, Domino's a great song. I do love.
Domino's a great song.
Bruce Kulick was awesome in guitars. Yep. I mean, the only 2 weak spots
Do not say it. My wedding song. He's not going to say it.
But the ballad was not good. And they do have an instrumental on there, but it's the last song in the album, so you can really turn it off. So it's totally fine.
You can't, because it's Cardiff.
I love your take on instrumentals.
Goodbye to Eric.
That is true. It was a tribute to Eric Carr.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one Kiss album is Dynasty. And sometimes for me it does flip between Dynasty and Revenge, but I love Dynasty. Kind of what you were saying, the cover, the videos. Because really, nowadays we see a lot of old makeup videos, but back in the day we didn't see all those ones. We only saw them. Yeah, For Sure Know Something and I Was Made.
Yeah.
There isn't a weak song. Even Peter's song is great. I love it.
Peter's song is really good.
My favorite song in the album is an Ace song, Save Your Love. I love that song. I can't get sick of that album. I have listened to that album more than any Kiss album I've ever owned, and I will continue to listen to it. Again, not a weak track on it. And that's my number one for my favorite band.
Which amazes me because at times I get mixed up between Dynasty and Unmasked, yet you don't feel the same way about Unmasked.
No, for me they're polar opposites, but I can see that you feel that way because they were so close together.
Yeah.
And there are some pop elements on both. So I can kind of see.
And Gene's made the comment that the 3 disco albums are on their own.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, which is the second disco or the third disco album? Apparently, it's Love Gun. I have no idea why you would think Love Gun is a disco album. Like, Dynasty and Unmasked, I can see it's disco-y.
Yeah.
Not really, but yeah, apparently Unmasked is because the Elder isn't.
No, the Elder isn't.
No. It's not disco.
Definite shout-outs to Rock and Roll Over, Dress to Kill, Creatures of the Night, Crazy Crazy Nights. Anyways.
Yeah, Dress to Kill I almost put on my list along with Paul Stanley, so that'd probably be my number 5 probably. But Dress to Kill is awesome because it never got as much exposure as some of those other albums.
Wicked Lester.
Yeah, Room Service.
Yeah. Yeah. Jobber.
All right. Guess I'm up. Iron Butterfly. Blue Cheer? No. I guess I kind of tipped my hand there, so it's Led Zeppelin. It's my number one band. And again, it was Van Halen, Led Zeppelin going back and forth. Insanely difficult choice there. we've never really touched on Zepp that much in this on this thing, but there's just something about like they really are the more than the sum of their parts, and each part is pretty amazing. I mean, John Bonham is just one of those stellar drummers. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, who can play anything and multiple instruments at the same time. Just insane. I mean, the part of me is kind of sad that it all came crashing down before we actually had a chance to see them live. But I don't know how the 80s would have treated Led Zeppelin. They were not really made for the 80s. The 70s, the big stadium rock stuff, that was really where they came and dominated. I mean, I still fantasize with the idea that Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart, Ron Wood could have continued and given them a run for their money, and maybe Cream hadn't quit too early and really would have had a chance to experience it. I think that's why a lot of the other bands are so salty towards Led Zeppelin, because the Who, Cream, because they took their idea and just took it to an extreme degree. I mean, they were the most successful band in the 70s, I would say.
They are.
I think they were more successful than the Stones, and they even had their own jet.
They were more, if you look at concert sales, album sales per capita during the years that Led Zeppelin was active, they are the #1 band in the world.
And
Styx
I think, I'm sorry?
Styx is second.
Yeah.
They are. Actually, I looked up those demographics. Styx is second.
Wow.
In that period, right? In that period.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm Jobber, I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'm glad that I'm not glad Bonzo died in a giant vodka drinking incident where he drowned in a pool and ate his own, or inhaled his own vomit. But the legacy is perfect because it ended there.
Yeah, there wasn't a regroup.
And there never should be, and there never should be. It is what it is, and it doesn't need any further expansion.
I think I mean, for them, it in the same way we were saying, like the Who should have called it when Keith Moon died, but I think some bands manage it. AC/DC, it worked, but that was a very special case. And even
No.
like there was a
What?
No, nothing.
I said Warrant.
Randy just went full. Randy just went full. When Jenny Lane passed, Warrant died. Don't go full. Go ahead.
Now, even there was a lot of movement after the O2 concert to have Jason Bonham fill in and do a tour, and he would have been the best replacement for John Bonham. But even Robert Plant's like, it's not Led Zeppelin.
It's not.
I mean, you're close, you're super close, and you're a great drummer, but no, it's not the
And
same.
Phil Collins isn't. The only guy that could have conceivably, if he wanted to, which he wouldn't have, if I gauge his personality correctly, the only guy that could have done those drums is Neil. That's it. And he was a student of Bonham, but he never played the same way, and he wouldn't have. Neil Peart was a purist in every way that he played, and he knew that he's the Rush drummer, and John Bonham is the Led Zeppelin drummer. And even though Neil probably could have done closer than anyone else, that's not his music. That's not his legacy. And I think the guys like Neil thought about that. I don't know if Bonham ever thought about it. I think Bonham was just drinking and playing great drums. But you can't replace him. There's simply no way. And we can go through all the rock channels of breaking down the digital drums of how you would do this with the slag on the back and the push in the front and everything else. There's simply no way to program it. There's simply no way to reproduce it. There are people that can make it sound very similar. There's actually a girl in her 20s from Germany named Sina, and she does some really great Jeff Porcaro and great Bonham stuff. But the heaviness, you never get in that heaviness like that.
Well, there's the heaviness, and then there's the lightness as well. He's very
back and forth. Yeah, and he invented everything as he was going. You know what I mean? He was technical in his construction, but it was. I just, for me, in all the years of analyzing everything about music for decades, you can't reproduce them. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Led Zeppelin, I mean, there was a lot of good bands. Another shout out Deep Purple, but I think based on what I've seen, the footage, Led Zeppelin was just such a live or such a grandiose band, and I don't think a
Five
lot of
nights in a
bands
row
could
at Madison Square
come
Garden.
close to that.
5 nights in a row
Um,
sold out at Madison Square Garden in 1976.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was I watched that entire, the song remains the same. I've watched the entire thing. I'd like to actually see it on the big screen. But no, there's just something you can't really put your finger on, but it's just
Yeah.
magic. For the top three albums, this one's really tough. Yeah. Because even leaving weaker albums like Presence has some good tracks, Into the Outdoor has some good tracks. Although I don't know why they put Hot Dog on there. It's just, God, what were you
Just
guys
to fuck
thinking?
with your mind, Jobber.
I know. Like Traveling Wilbury Blues doesn't get on an album, but Hot Dog does. I'm never gonna understand that. Hey Hey What Can I Do doesn't make it, but Hot Dog does. All right. But okay, so my top three, first, number three, Zeppelin 1. Another like rip-roaring debut album, which almost has a slight Yardbirdsy tinge to it. Dazed Confused, You Shook Me, Good Times, Bad Times, even, I mean, yeah, I know there's a guitar instrumental on there too, but no, what are you gonna do? Second is Led Zeppelin 4. And the entire album is iconic, although, as I've said, Rock and Roll Stairway and Black Dog, I prefer the live versions over the studio now. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't really listen to those tracks, but something like Battle of Evermore, Levee
Four
Breaks. I mean, those are masterpieces of
Four Sticks is
studio
amazing.
recording.
Yeah.
And then number one is number two, Led Zeppelin 2. So,
Nailed it.
yeah, you did.
I knew
you
it would
did.
be.
But
Yeah, good.
no,
Because number two out of everything else feels more, to me anyways, more natural, more relaxed, more, the whole album flows. And I would just say that it's like it seemed like they played it with ease.
Jobber, what are your three favorite tracks off of that?
Lemon Song,
You bet.
Whole
On.
Lotta Love.
Ramble on, dude. Ramble on.
Yes, I have to say Ramble On. Living, Loving, Made isn't bad.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
The Ramble On that's probably one of John Paul Jones' best bass lines.
It's one of the coolest bass lines ever written, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there you go.
It's the roots of a lot of the things that we talk about, like the music that we like came from that.
Yeah, even the greatest band of all time, Kiss, was influenced by Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you had to pay attention before the age of media, and even Led Zeppelin wasn't played on radio before there was FM. There's no AM radio hits. You had to pay attention to, if you're going to be an album-based band and not a single-based band, you got to pay attention to who's at number one. And number one was Led Zeppelin for a long time, and of course Kiss, of course Van Halen, of course Bad Company, of course anyone else. You looked to, how do you can't reproduce. None of these bands are going to have the song remains the same song at all, and none of them are going to be able to do The Crunch. None of them are going to be able to do When the Levee Breaks. But can we get close with something like that? Guitar-driven rock with heavy drums, complex vocals. That was the holy grail of rock. They invented it.
So question for you. I probably said this before in another episode where I read there's only two albums in the history that have sort of mimicked the drumming from Zeppelin, right?
Interesting.
One was Eric Carr on Creatures of the Night, and the other one was Billy Squires' Don't Say No, who I don't know who the drummer was.
Okay. So Billy Squire, I actually watched a documentary on Billy Squire a couple of weeks ago. They specifically targeted Billy Squire because he had a voice similar to Robert Plant to do more Zeppelin-y stuff. Nothing in Billy Squire's band was weak, but it wasn't rhythmically complex on the higher level. So I think what you're talking about is the sound of
It was the drum sound.
right, not the playing. Right. Okay.
Wouldn't you say Tony Thompson, Power Station,
What about
for the
Aldrich?
sound?
Okay. All good arguments. Everyone we're talking about right now, Tommy Aldridge and Tony Thompson, are way above Eric Carr, the guy from Billy Squire's band. Like Eric Carr's a great drummer. I'm not gonna in a rock and roll sense. There's Tommy Aldridge can do shit today that will blow your fucking mind. And the guy's like 78. He looks like a fucking wild man who's been released from the bush.
Leatherface.
No, he's just he's leather. Tommy Aldridge is just one of those natural drummers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sound, like now that you're talking about Creatures of the Night, the sound that they were doing with the tuning of the drums, yes, very similar to what Bonzo did at the end of In Through the Outdoor. Like that was his last drumming pieces that he did. The way he tuned the drums, Eric was getting that kind of cannon-y sound.
Yeah.
Which was tuning, and Eric wasn't a super hard hitter, but Eric was like a really precise hitter like Bonham, and I think that's where you're getting it from. But sound playability, could Eric sit down and do when the levee breaks and you'd hear it and go, pretty close. It could. Could Eric sit down and do four sticks or the song remains the same? No, under no circumstances. No one's doing that. Tommy Aldridge maybe, but Tommy Aldridge isn't like a trained drummer. Tommy Aldridge just figures out how to play the greatest fucking drums of all time in his own mind. And he said that before when he was talking about the Aussie stuff. He goes, well, we were just jamming on this, and I kept doing fucking fills everywhere, and the solos got crazier and crazier. And Ozzy is like, yeah, keep going, Tommy. It's fucking right. You know, he's just encouraging him to be crazier. And he's like, I never had anyone ever tell me to do that, so I just kept doing it.
I interviewed a drummer on my podcast, and he said that Aldrich was just the most amazing drummer.
Everybody loves Tommy. He is a truly underrated drummer. I mean, he's not trained, but I mean, what Tommy can do when he wants to do it, it's like, and he still freaking plays like that. And when we did the CanCon episode, I was talking about one of my favorite albums, which is Pat's Crash and Burn album, and Tommy played on that, and the stuff Tommy does on that album, which most people haven't even heard, Crash and Burn by Pat Travers, it's just genius.
That was this other guy, Pat Travers.
Yeah, Pat Travers is an amazing musician. No one's heard.
And Tommy Lee. He threw Tommy Lee in there.
Yeah.
Tommy's a good drummer.
On the Motley Crue 1994, man, I don't usually notice drummers, to be honest with you, but I definitely noticed Tommy Lee on that.
I don't think Motley Crue would have probably got a record deal without Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If I was an A&R guy looking at that band going, and without that drummer, there's no freaking way, because I know that drummer can control a live situation and he can play in the studio. The rest of them, Mick's not going to miss a note, but he's not blowing me away. The rest of them,
That's what I think Zeppelin introduced. So I was going to say, Zeppelin introduced that booming sound, because even Cream, Ginger Baker didn't have that overwhelming.
Ginger was still playing jazz drums.
Yeah.
He was playing jazz. Yeah. All right, Hops.
Hops. Number one.
JT, I'm glad you mentioned Bad Company, because I feel like they need some props too. So just a couple bands before we finish with my number one, and you guys know my number one. I know you do. But Journey, I love Journey. It has so many great hits. A little poppy, maybe for this application. Great White, love me some Great White.
White's a great band.
Yeah. And there's a band to me that's very influenced by Zeppelin, just with the vocals, right? That real bluesy kind of, right? But I gotta go with Bon. Bon Jovi for me is like, if I was on a desert island, I'd probably have to have 3 or 4 Bon albums, you know. I struggle a little bit with I'm just gonna say my top three. And for me, number three would be the self-titled first album.
Mm-hmm.
Number two would be New Jersey. Still love it to this day, but number one is Slippery, because it's just there's so many anthems on it. There's so many.
Yep.
And I want to say something. Like, for me, Bon Jovi does not exist without Richie. And again, I'm a guitar. I listen. Some people listen to drums. Some people listen to bass. But I listen for guitar, and I think those two together are magic. But I think, Bon without Richie is like, it's just not right to me. It's just, there's something missing. And he's got some good stuff, and I love him to death. And I think he does a lot of good stuff out there. And he's putting another concert together, I saw, with Def Leppard, which would be really cool. But his voice is kind of, as we get older, those guys, imagine singing like that for 30, 40, 50 years. It's like,
unless you're Bruce Dickinson or Rob Halford, it gets pretty tough.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, right?
No,
It is shocking, all the vocal problems he's had, but they've booked, I think it's 8 shows at Madison Square Garden for the summer. That's unbelievable.
I saw that. And they're going to London, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a good show to see, especially in New York. It'd be pretty.
So does
wild.
Richie still play with John?
No.
Okay.
He left in, I think, 2013, I think it was.
So if they came and it was both of them, I would consider seeing them. But Bon Jovi by himself, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big enough fan.
Yeah.
But for me, that's just like that. When that album came out, it changed my listening habits. It changed how I listen to music. And it's a lot of anthems. It's a lot of stuff that maybe now it still holds up. But you know how these albums, like, who's to say when somebody comes out with the next Led Zeppelin 4, those albums aren't always the most popular, but they stand the test of time.
Yep.
I find it fascinating, music that we really listen to on a daily basis, but the albums, like the Eagles album, the Fleetwood Mac albums, that stand the test of time, and Tom Petty, they're not questioned. They're just epic albums.
I got a question for you, Hops.
Yeah, shoot.
You and I, as lab partners in Biology 12, had not listened to Slippery and Wet every class, do you think maybe we would have passed?
I don't think so. I don't think it would have helped. I mean, you might have. You might have been able to do it.
I got blame Bon Jovi that you and I did not pass by 12.
But you left on your own accord. I just said, no, just don't come back.
Right? Yeah, if Hops isn't here, I'm
Biology 12.
Should have been a spare.
Yeah.
You should have been in Randy's house, me and his mom smoking with Randy, watching curling. That's how you graduate and get a good job.
You were at Marty's or Wizards or DJs?
DJs.
All that matters.
Holden's Billiards.
Yeah.
Right. But no, good memories. And so that I still have the concert ticket from Slippery, Cinderella. I'll never forget that, walking down. We missed the first little part of Night Songs, but I just that bell, that dong.
Yeah.
We're walking down, I think it was a BC place, and I just got goosebumps. And I was like, wow, this is, and for me, awesome. Cinderella probably deserves an honorable mention too. I don't love their whole list of albums, but their first 3 albums were solid. Their first 2 albums were amazing.
Long Cold Winter, baby.
Hops are by far our most viewed episode after 30 whatever episodes is the Cinderella.
40 was the Cinderella episode.
Yeah. Cinderella episode's way above everything on the algorithm.
Yeah.
Well, other Philly band got that bluesy thing going on, right?
I think
seeing them live with Dave Lee Roth was really cool.
The only way I could look at this, and the only way I could see it, is because almost all of it were nobody that we were connected to on other subscriptions, is that Cinderella fans are very opinionated, much like Rat fans are.
Yeah.
Because
we're
not arguing about whether we like the band or not. We're arguing about the albums. It's like, remember when you guys had the big argument, Rock and Otto, about Long Cold Winter, and somebody said it was like the worst album ever, and go, I'm gonna fucking pound your face in right and I'm like, I don't even like that album. I've never even heard it. Like, it's like,
what?
It's like Cinderella and Rat's the same thing. And it's like when we did the Rat episodes and you guys were telling me about the stuff after Dancing Undercover, and you said there's some of the best songs ever. And I was I go, you guys are right. It's like, I never heard those songs. I listen to them all the time now. But it's like people in Rat world, some people just love Out of the Cellar and Invasion, and that's it.
Invasion. I love it.
There's me and Dave Qualia, we're complete weirdos who just love dancing more than anything else. And then there's the later stuff that's actually really good. It's just not Way Cool Jr.
I'm surprised Poison didn't crack. I thought Rock would have Poison at like 5. That was my.
Not enough good songs would be my guess.
They'd be in my 10. They'd probably be in the 7-8 range. Yeah. Love them. Love them.
Just outside my 10. Yeah.
Not even my first 100.
Honeymoon Suite almost would have made my 10.
Yeah.
Top 30. Okay, so number 1 for me, much like Jobber, is going to be Led Zeppelin. And I don't listen to Led Zeppelin as much as I used to. I think because I know stuff. I've followed the band since, me and Jobber were in grade 10 together in English class. And I think that, we started really at that point to discuss it with DQ and get much more deep into why we like the band. And I think there was never a level we could get to where we'd figured it out. Whereas with pretty much every other band, it was like a popular song. So for me with Zeppelin, it's a complete execution of what rock and roll should be on a level that this is what rock and roll was invented to be, and this is how it's executed at its highest level. It's the most enjoyable music for me to listen to, and I never listened to the song again and again. Uh-oh.
We lost Mark. You said Zeppelin?
Oh, yeah, good. So we're just going to finish off the number 1s, and my top 3 Zeppelin albums would be similar to Jobber's. Number 2 is third. Wait, that's confusing. Number 2 is third. House of the Holy, and then In Through the Outdoors, my number 1. Just because of
wow.
There's some stuff I don't like that's going on, but as Jobber was saying about John Paul Jones' multi-instrumentality, he mastered it on that album. Carousel Alhambra is just genius. In the Evening's incredible. It has a fingerprint of John Paul Jones and John Bonham on it more than any other Zeppelin album. It's become less bluesy. It's become less Robert Planty hysterical. Not criticizing the guy.
Well, the shuffle on Fool in the Rain is...
Fool in the Rain is probably one of the greatest rhythm drum tracks of all time.
It's amazing.
House of the Holy was my favorite back when we were kids because you introduced it to me, actually. But yeah, for me, Zeppelin 2 is my favorite.
I actually got Physical Graffiti from you.
Oh, did you?
Cassette.
The Zepp heads that are claim to be Zepp heads. You can't get into this club unless Physical Graffiti is your greatest Zepp album.
Yeah.
Right? So I explained this to my kid, and his face, and my kid's 31 years old, and it's like his face starts to go. And then I go, "What's the problem?" I go, "You actually think Physical Graffiti is the best Zepp album?" And he goes, "Yep." I go, "Oh my God, you're my child." But it is. His argument was coherent. He's a good musician. He could argue it, but I mean, there's so many inconsistencies with Physical Graffiti, and everyone, like, you could go through New York Times and New Yorker magazine. Physical Graffiti is the greatest rock album of this era, and blah blah blah. All those things that they hit on to me seem fake, more fake than Zeppelin 3, more fake than any other album. It's just there are a lot of great tracks on Physical Graffiti, but the whole album. It's too self-indulgent, and I can't believe I'm saying that, as I said yes as my number 5 band, and Blue Oyster Cult is number 5. But self-indulgency, it can be distracting, unnecessary. A compact, great album, Led Zeppelin 2, Van Halen 2, always the second album. The car, like all these. It's just, I don't think that. All the years I've seen rock and roll come, and there's been so many great bands. I thought Soundgarden could be Led Zeppelin. I kind of thought Alice in Chains might be. that Queensryche might be. You get 2 albums, maybe 3, but it doesn't have this consistency with this change. And the thing is that in all those bands, when you analyze them later, which we have the luxury of doing as middle-aged men who understand music, is that you find pieces that aren't that great. There's a piece missing in Queensryche. There's a piece missing in Alice in Chains. There's a piece missing in this band and that band, the other band. But as deep as I go into Led Zeppelin, there's no piece missing ever. There's some songs that don't work, but there's never a piece that's like the whole band. It's like if they just had a better this, if they just had a better that, if they just had a better something or other, they didn't miss anything. And I think that's honestly just because of the way that the band was constructed with Peter Grant and with Led Zeppelin deciding that we're not going to write hits. We're not going to write a hit album. We are going to do whatever we want, and the business end of it will take care of itself. And that's what Peter Grant told them. Go write the best album in the world. You guys don't worry about money. Here's all you need for your expenses.
What's your take on Presence? Because that's the most non-John Paul Jones album.
I love Presence. Presence has Achilles Stan on it, right? Achilles Stan is probably one of my top 5 songs by Zeppelin. I love it. I love those super fast songs where Jimmy Page somehow comes out of the the blues world and goes into the speed world. Because Song Remains the Same is really hard on guitar to play that fast. It almost sounds like tremolo picking. I don't know if it's doubled. Yeah. Jimmy Page had all his production tricks. I don't know, but definitely on.
Although it sounds like that live, though. I mean,
yeah, it does.
That's not beer, it's a water.
rock when you sneeze, you're supposed to go, Ed Nugent. Because he never did drugs ever.
No.
I actually didn't, but he was actually the squirrel hunting champion in 1968.
Yeah.
That is true. He shot more squirrels than anyone else.
Which could be true even in 25 for him.
Ted, we got hundreds of them in our yard. Please.
Yeah.
Please. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just want to say a few thanks. I mean, to the wife, kids, especially you guys, my cousins, the crazy obsession I have with music, the lists, the rankings that I kind of make you guys do for the last 30 years.
We've internalized it and normalized it.
Okay. I just want to say thanks to anybody that had time to kill to watch these episodes. Thanks for watching. To you, JT, without you, none of this would have happened. The amount of, I can't even imagine the hundreds of hours you had to put in to make this happen. All the editing with all the offsite things that Rock said that you had to edit out. Thank you. And to the artists that we wouldn't be doing any of this.
Most important part of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's like to say, it's a soundtrack to our lives, right? That's how we grew up.
Soundtrack to our lives, yeah.
What we relate to, and thanks. Thanks for all.
I think for us, a lot of what everyone has reminiscences of good times with friends.
Yeah.
But the music, really, all of us are really passionate about in different ways.
Yeah.
And all of us, like Rock's freaking Kiss Museum, the Wall of Kiss, is well known throughout Winnipeg now.
Mm-hmm.
My boss has been there, my wife has been there, and she goes, I don't want to hear you guys watch the same videos all the time. And when she came over, but she goes, but I really wanted to see what Rock has down there.
Yeah.
So it's legendary. And I mean, interesting enough, I'm sure we can talk to a lot of people that they have kept relationships, but the relationships have been more based upon our kids grew up together, all that stuff's great and everything. We had the same job or whatever. We really stuck together, not just because of friendship, but because of not only do we love music, but we disagree on many things.
And who else could he talk about Black and Blue with, right? Like, come on.
And one of my classic rock friends would listen to me and Pete talk about Yes.
Yeah.
You know? So it's been a really fun run.
Yeah, it has been.
This will be
great.
our final episode for who knows. Maybe a new band will come out. We'll have to
Well, the conversations will
Woodlane.
continue, though.
from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Well, we might have
could,
to.
you know what we could do? Just an idea. Bit of footage in Ikebukuro at a bar, chatting about music, or eating eel spines.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not over. Maybe in a couple of years there'll be a reunion.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a Tokyo episode.
Yeah, a reunion episode in Tokyo. That'd be fun.
There you go.
All right, so everybody, thank you so much for watching.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We've had a good run, and future is open to all possibilities.
Peace out.
Peace.
Artist Gang Musically Incorrect out.